Arbitrage may not necessarily be a long-term game, but it really lowers the barrier to entry into, the short-term rental market. And it gives you a lot of now money, which you can, if you want to invest into other asset classes or, long-term rentals, storage facilities, etc., or just buying your own short-term rentals, it gives you that avenue.
If you want to start a short-term rental business, just think on, other than real estate, right? Think of 5 major areas, okay? Number 1 is there's a market for everything, right? So you've got to go and really be in a good market with, let's just say our market is Houston, right? What we do is we sort of like niche down a little bit and we figure out what submarket in Houston is a reasonably good market with solid numbers, right? Within that submarket, let me just give you an example. Let's just say our submarket is the Woodlands, Texas. Okay, that's a submarket. And then that's a city outside of Houston, right up north of Houston. Your major market is Houston, and then your submarket is the Woodlands. In the Woodlands, it might be pretty big, right? I don't know exactly how big it is, but you're going to have certain areas that perform better. And then that's what we call a micro market. So you've got to really focus on finding the right market and niching down to a micro market. It's number 1. Now that you found the micro market, then it's about identifying the right property. Okay, so whether it's a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom, or even a 1 or 2, what property can I buy for the most effective valuation or price that will bring me the highest gross rental revenue? Okay, so that's number 2. Then after you buy this property, you've got to make sure you designed it and you actually maximize what you're going to charge by creating a unique selling proposition with functional design, right? And great furnishings. Number 3, right? That was number 3. And number 4, after you've got this property ready to go, right? It looks beautiful. Now what do? You package it. And you package it by creating 3 different things, right? A great listing strategy, which is your pictures and everything you're going to put online, right? Then you're going to price it correctly. That's your pricing strategy. Because if you create a great package and you price it correctly, whether it's up or down, right? You're going to maximize because you're going to price something that people are going to want. And what we do is we help our clients create perceived value with pricing and the design coming together. And then third is essentially your booking strategy, right? If I want to get a property full, I need to understand how to maximize by creating either a two-day bookings, 3-day bookings, weekly bookings. What's the best way to get this property with the most occupancy? Those 3 fall under the marketing strategy, right? That's number 4. And then once you put that together, right, and you got a great package, which if you haven't read the book, $100 Million Offer, that's where I got the package thing, right? When I package something and I want to sell it for a lot more expensive, or I want to rent it for a lot more money, right? I create what is called an irresistible offer, right? You know about that, a irresistible offer. And my irresistible offer is a beautiful, amazing short-term rental property with all the amenities that you need and all the comforts, and it creates a lifestyle not just for the person renting it, but also for the person that owns it, right? So now that you've done step 4, then step 5 is what we call guest experience. You've got to deliver a 5-star guest experience. And if you have done everything else right, Avishkar, then step 5 is much easier. You can hire someone to co-host it. It is really easy to get 5-star reviews and can maintain this really good reputation online. It's really easy to charge much higher. So when you have a beautiful property with the right things inside it and the right price, you're going to make the most amount of money possible, and your costs are going to stay there, right? Your fixed costs are going to stay there, but you're going to maximize 3, 4, 5 times your mortgage or your rent. That step, number 5, becomes so easy if you've done everything else right.
And this strategy sort of is going to be similar, whether you're doing an arbitrage or whether you're buying it, because essentially what's changing is just you're either renting versus you're buying an asset, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the whole process is the same. you're just renting it or buying it, right? Or I mean, you could even co-host it.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of real estate is the way partnerships work. So say somebody is super busy in their jobs, right? And they don't have the time to manage it. They can always co-host it. They can always hire help to manage the asset for them, essentially making it passive, and sort of do what you're doing is strategizing and figuring out what's the best way to kind of have this asset function for me.
Absolutely, right? So there's in any asset class, there is a way to make things very passive, and that includes short-term rentals. Just because the active business is active, right? The business is active doesn't mean that it can't become passive, but there's ways to do it super passive, not a little passive, and then obviously do it active, right?
Well, you're developing something that's going to make it super passive. So let's talk about that. What are you doing right now to kind of help your business grow and help other people invest in short-term rentals?
Absolutely, brother. So we are literally probably 2 to 3 weeks away from releasing our subscription documents for our fund, right? So we've been putting together a short-term rental fund where we're going to be dealing with accredited investors coming in and investing passively into our fund. And they're going to have the ability to visit these properties, right, at discounted rates. And we're going to have them all over the country. And we're going to go after we're going to open up 6 to 8 markets right now. We're just in Houston and the outside cities, but the fund will open up like other major markets in Texas, like Dallas-Fort Worth and outside, Austin, Texas, and the surroundings, mostly because Austin is so expensive, right? Maybe San Antonio as well. And we're going to go outside of Texas to be able to serve our investors as well. But yeah, that's what we're doing, brother. We've been working on it for
amazing stuff.
Quite a few months.
Amazing stuff.
It takes a while. You know this.
Yeah, I know. It takes forever, man.
Yeah.
So how can people get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So right now, to connect with us, my personal website is georgesalas360.com. And that's where you guys can check out like my SDRs, my Airbnbs, connect with me, like hang out with me. I've got a bunch of videos and presentations in there. And then my investing website is empresscapitalgroup.com. And that's where we're going to be releasing our fund.
Okay. So, very cool. Very cool.
Absolutely.
This is amazing, man. This was a fun conversation.
I love it, man.
Yeah, this was so much fun, man. I'm sure people are going to get value from this. I think it's important to understand that, arbitrage may not necessarily be a long-term game, but it really lowers the barrier to entry into, the short-term rental market. And it gives you a lot of now money, which you can, if you want to invest into other asset classes or, long-term rentals, storage facilities, etc., or just buying your own short-term rentals, it gives you that avenue of doing that by creating that now money, doing the arbitrage model.
Yep, it's an easy entry way, and it doesn't require a whole lot of money. And if you're getting started, it's just fairly easy to get into it, right? And if I did it, anybody else can do it out there, right? Brother, I appreciate you having me here, man. And
yeah, thank you so much, man. This was so much fun. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Thanks. Folks, some of my guests may actually have, some mentorship programs. They may have some deals that they're working on, and you might get interested in working with them. But please bear in mind that I haven't done any due diligence on what they are offering, and you should do your own due diligence before you start working with them. Having said that, these are very high quality guests that I'm trying to bring on so that they can provide good value to you, and they're hardworking individuals and they have integrity when they work, but you should definitely do your own due diligence. I haven't done that due diligence on what their programs are, what their deals are. So please do your due diligence. I don't want to be held liable for anything that they are offering and you join that program or that deal with them because you heard it on my podcast.